You ever notice how people who are more confident about themselves, like authentically confident about themselves, they're typically, and I'm going to use women as an example, and you'll see why. A confident woman, a truly confident woman, if you're looking down here, they're going to be like, hey, yo, I'm up here. Like, eyes over here. Because, actually, no, and I'll tell you why in a minute. On the other hand, a truly insecure person, not a person who appears confident on the surface, because appearances are nothing. Appearances are often very deceptive. A person who is insecure at their core will want you to look down there. They're the ones that appear, they seem so confident, but they are the ones they want you to look at their bodies. They want you to check them out. They want you to validate them because they cannot do so for themselves, because they put all their power into something external. They disempower themselves by all the things externally that they identify as themselves. And when you identify things outside of yourself as who you are, you transfer the power out of your body and into those things. And your identity becomes those things. And so people who are truly insecure at the core of their being are the ones that go around and they seem like they're so, like, just like they know they're all that. But the reality is they aren't shit unless you validate them. As soon as you start ignoring them, just watch what happens. You know what happens. On the other hand, somebody who's truly confident in themselves, they want you to look at them. They want you to see the eyes. Look at my eyes. Okay, I always make it dark so you can't see me. The eyes are the window into the soul. The eyes are who we are. Not all this. This is just the vessel. This is just the body that we reside in. And that is why being in the body is very different than being the body. And for the for the longest time, probably most of our time here on earth, we have viewed ourselves as this body, as this vessel. This is me. I'm Mason. This is who I am. This is my identity. And yes, like on the surface level, yes, like this is me. Like obviously, I know I'm Mason. I know, who I am and whatever. But all of that's just a role. Like identity is just a construct, a man-made construct at that. When you're born, you're given your identity. You're given a name. You're given a place of birth. You're given all these external factors. You're given a rich family or a poor family. You're put in an environment and that constructs you here. But there is still a you that predates or like comes before any of those things. All that is just like literally like, it's like going to another country and then like, getting some souvenirs and a t-shirt and like maybe trying to imitate the accent of like the native like tongue a little bit and then saying, oh, I'm from here. Like, this is who I am. Like, I would love to pick up a British accent and like, go live in Europe and like be British, but like that's not authentic. That's not who I am. Who I am is me. Like, to the best of, my understanding of myself. I could talk completely different if I grew up somewhere else. Though at the same time, I did grow up with a Hispanic dad, and a mom who spoke, quite Southern. And I don't speak like either one of them. I occasionally will have a, say ain't y'all and like Southern stuff, but y'all start looking at me. We got to keep this like, no, we're not separating. It's a power thing. Too powerful. You can't look at these eyes. No. But yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to share today. Is the sorry, I just woke up. My nose is still itchy. I wake up with some like morning allergies because my cat sleeps on my face. But But yeah, that's what I wanted to share with you guys today is the disempowerment of when we transfer our energy outside of our body. Because if you think of, like, you know, the way energy moves through things, and the way things, like, all things fractalize, and our bodies is like a fractal of our souls, of our existence. And if we start putting things on our body, and we start identifying with things outside of the body, and we truly believe that that is part of our identity, like I did for most of my life, thinking that music and, like, the clothes I wear and, like, all the stuff that, you know, I thought was like, oh God, this is who I am. Like, wow, like, as an adult, like, it's shattering, you know, when you realize that people you looked up to, that you idolized, that you saw as part of who you were, another individual, other people, and I'm talking like celebrities, musicians, like actors, people that we, like, you know, looked up to. Now, shit, look what's going on in Hollywood right now. Look what's going on, like, in the music industry right now. There's a lot of corruption. There's a lot of shit coming out. There's a lot of, like, people you're like, wow, I feel bad that I really looked up to you, dude. Like, and that's because, or not because, but, like, that's what happens. Like, we disempower ourselves when we start identifying as everything else. And then, you know, what happens when those things that we put our energy into turn sour? Then what? Like, are we shitty people? You know, like, no. It's just, if you disempower yourself by putting your power in other things, it's never going to be good for you. It's never going to help you find out who you are. You don't find yourself by putting your identity in other things. You find yourself by going within and realizing that your experience is, that's all that matters, honestly. Because other people's experience, as I've heard many times, it's not your business. Other people's thoughts about you is not your business. Focus on yourself. Focus on loving yourself. And focus on building your own inner confidence and your authenticity. Because when you start being authentic, you won't need people to look at. You know what I mean? You'll be confident enough. You won't be like me. You won't need to wear, like, sunglasses because you enjoy the space that I do. I can look people in the eye, but it's not always comfortable because I still have some insecurities and some, like, just some weirdness within that I'm working through. And people, like, they're too intense, you know, like, their eyes, like, the eyes are like the window to the soul. And, like, when I look at people directly in the eyes, like, sometimes it's too intense for me. Unless it's just certain people that I'm okay connecting that deeply with. So, I don't know. There's times I wonder why we're so protective of the body. It's like, you know, don't take a look at my junk. Don't flash a titty in public, but I want to wear sunglasses because looking people in the eyes is too intense, and that's weird for some people. Makes me a douchebag for wearing sunglasses inside, but I don't wear sunglasses inside. But anyways, I hope all that made sense. I hope it, like, maybe helped. But yeah, think about that. Like, next time you go out there, and that's one more thing I wanted to mention. Those people that are super confident, you know, look at my titties. Next time you look at one of those people and you feel insecure and you feel inferior and, you know, you're feeling intimidated by some macho guy, you know, that's just like, you know, he's got the swag, he's got, you know, whatever, like, think about it, dude. Like, if you really think that they're confident in themselves, no, they're not. They've just had to put on a lot of shit. They've had to make money so they could buy a bunch of expensive shit so that they could identify themselves as that shit. And none of it matters. The only thing that matters is you. Namaste. Peace. Love y'all.